So the social norms approach is based on the idea that we tend to notice things that are unusual around us. So when I ask someone, or when I think about, for instance, how many smokers might be in my community, I recall all the people I've seen stood outside pubs, outside the supermarket, and I perhaps don't think about all the people who've passed me by who aren't smoking.
It's a data-driven process, so we collect data from the local community about attitudes and behaviour.
I'd say about 60% of people in Fed smoke.
I'd say about 60, 70.
70, 75.
About 80%.
Yeah, 80%. About 89.
All of them, I'm going to say. All of them, yeah.
And then we look at whether or not there is a misperception, so a mismatch between what they think is real and what people are reporting being real. And you then create messages to feed that back.
All the research has been done and Magpie's been brought on board to actually give each community this gift as well as the message, and the question is how we wrap that up.
Because I saw that 6 out of 10 people don't smoke, which it was surprising to me, to be honest with you. I thought it'd be more than that.
So 6 out of 10 people in Feb don't smoke.
Are you kidding?
Today we've been treat or treating, which is giving out treats to the community rather than asking for them, since it's Halloween, and those treats have been tied up with the social norms messages.
One of the issues with the kind of the traditional health promotion approaches, some people refer to it as health terrorism, where you go and you tell people all the risks. That can be really important when people don't understand the risks. But actually, once people know the risks, people generally don't relate to those risks.
Being able to talk about health and encourage people to take control of their own health in a really positive way was absolutely central, and one of the reasons why the social norms approaches are so attractive to us.
What we wanted was a very positive message that local authorities could actually hand over to the community to say, actually, this is what happens in our community, and it's a very simple, positive message.
It's been quite a long journey so far, but it's getting exciting now.
Well, this project is all about reducing tobacco consumption, reducing smoking prevalence by denormalising tobacco. As a bit of a background, Yorkshire and Humber have the highest smoking prevalence in England.
What needs to happen for the social norms approach is for people to be involved, and for the community to be involved at every stage. And it's central. The population is, the people that you're targeting, is at the centre of the social norms approach. And without their input, you wouldn't have a social norms campaign.
That we weren't sort of starting off trying to do everything from scratch, but we were actually plugging into existing community groups or networks.
I'm glad we've got to this bit now, because we've done the questionnaires, we've been in the community, we've spoke to hundreds of people, and we've got all of these answers.
Well, one day, it was a day when we didn't have to go to school, and then I went there with my mum, and then they were just asking point of views.
Yeah? And so what do you think about smoking?
I think it's a bad habit.
We just sat round a table. Some ideas were, it was like a brainstorming session where people said balloon release would be good, a memorial tree was something else that was mentioned, but which I believe we're going to be doing later on. And it was just sat there just saying what would work in the area and what wouldn't work, and what would be patronising to people. And just everybody knew that it wasn't about stopping smoking, it was what would work in this local area, really.
What we've found is a lot of the communities have either had a desire for events or wanted to base their messages and include them within events.
A number of communities used community events, so big events within the community that people come together to really push that message out. For example, used very well-known sports teams within that community and the players as the messengers.
8 out of 10 of us in Feb agreed cars with kids inside should be placed where people don't smoke.
Magpies worked really hard with communities to find out what images they want. The messages might be similar in terms of the actual statistics, if you like, the numbers we're giving to people, but the way that it's worded and the type of language used has been decided by those in the community.
The community themselves came up with the idea of local people spreading local word, and that's where the Norm and Norma characters came from. Everybody's got a nosy neighbour or an elderly relative that's genned up on what's happening in community. So they're just a couple of local friendly characters that we've got on board to try and help us spread the word.
It's very much a community-led campaign, and we see that as a really important part of the social norms approach, because we need to get buy-in at a very early stage, because those people in the focus groups and in the research groups, they're the ones that are going to help get the message out as well. So if they believe in it, everybody else in the community should.
Well, the t-shirts are very popular. Obviously you can see it's a very distinctive logo, and I think people are proud of wearing the nice one Wesley.
We've found there's been a real interaction with the campaign, and taking on board the photographs and the videos and the footage from those events, we've been able to put that back out in the community, and it gives the campaign a stronger message, a stronger feel, and it makes it more powerful because it shows real people at real events interacting with the messages.
We've got a wonderful Facebook page going where people have been adding comments and following Norm and Norma, and we've been updating that with Norm and Norma's antics, where they've been and what they've been up to.
It's absolutely gone berserk on Twitter because it's a bit like a taster of it's coming, what's coming. Have you seen the truth about Featherstone?
Yeah, sure it is.
Thank you. Safe for people, bro.
It's really important that we make it obvious to them that this is about a message which is from them, and there's a real danger if you just parachute in an image that they've had nothing to do with, or a message they don't feel any ownership.
The Sonic project and Magpie have really made an inroad into making people's views feel valued.
We feel that the messages are even stronger when people have a personal interaction with them. So when they don't find out the messages in a group of people, for instance, when they're on their own, they can really digest the message.
We've got an online prize draw, we've got a fantastic web page, we've got some scratch cards like prize draw cards as well, posters, and a lot of it has been word of mouth.
By checking how many web hits there have been or how many scratch cards have been returned, we've been able to monitor how many people are engaging with the campaign in real time. We're hoping to change perceptions as soon as possible, so there are researchers going in and doing follow-up research.
This has been really memorable, so people are enjoying it, and I think it's got legs. I think it's going to stay around for quite a while, and people are going to keep Norm and Norm. Probably going to hang them on the Christmas trees. I can see them as little Christmas ornaments or something.
The whole thing about social norms is empowering people, making them feel positive, letting them know that this is a reflection of their own behaviour, and actually you're doing something really good, so keep up the good work.
The social norms approach is a fairly new concept within the UK, and particularly within a community.
Part of what this project is about, and it has been a really ambitious project, is seeing whether or not you can run this kind of campaign, individualising it, tailoring it, personalising it for 10 communities at what is essentially the same time.
We're not really just interested in one little project. We wanted something to test out whether we could develop something that genuinely could be used in lots of different places all over the country.
With it being a pilot, it's something that we're going to learn from.
What we're really looking at all the way through and over the next few years is smoking prevalence. Are fewer people smoking?
We should be starting to see an attitudinal shift in communities now.
In the long term, we would like to see that this project has made an impact on the level of smoke-free homes.
And we hope in future that we will be able to have that critical impact on reducing smoking prevalence, that fewer younger people eventually will start to smoke because they know that most people don't smoke.